The following video is taken from our webinar on the 3rd of February about packages. And this video in particular is talking about what you need to know if there are people inside of a cabin booking that don't want to have one of the packages. For instance, if you've got a family of 4 and the children will not be having the package.
When I was talking about this to the wife, she goes, "Well, it's okay, but we've got a 4-year-old and a 3 months old. We don't want to have to get a package for all of us. That doesn't make sense." So we talk a little bit more about that. Danny, how does that work?
Yeah, absolutely. So looking at this, obviously, if you're familiar with Polar Online and the manage booking function, this is where you would go in and enter the package if you haven't selected that at the time of booking. So this is where you'd go in to add the offer code, as you can see them listed on the screen. As Mike mentioned, sometimes you might be booking a guest with their family, so there might be 4 of them in the cabin and only guests 1 and 2, say the adults, actually want to make the most of the package. So as you may know, at the time of booking, when you are selecting a plus or premier fare, it will automatically add it for all guests within the cabin. Unfortunately, Polar Online doesn't let you kind of select which guests you would like to do it for. The overall rule, however, is that not all guests in the cabin do have to have the package. However, a minimum of 2 guests do. So guests 1 and 2 would need to have the package, but say guests 3 and 4 are children, they don't need to have the package. And there aren't any discounted fares if it is a child age as well. They would still be paying the same fare. So it's completely up to that family if they decide that actually they're still happy to pay the full package fare, or if mum and dad are happy to have the package and then they just do, say, a soft drinks package for the children in the cabin. So the way around this is you either, at the time of booking, you can either book on the package, and then you can use our live chat, Ask Isaac, and a member of our contact centre team will be happy to remove the package for the 3rd and 4th guest. Or another way around is similar, still using the live chat, but go ahead and make the booking without including the package on, obviously giving your guests the fare included in your quote to them for 1 and 2 guests to have the plus or premier package, and then again head into live chat. A member of the team would just be able to add it on just for guest 1 and 2 for you. So there is ways around it. Unfortunately, it doesn't give you the option to select how many guests you want it for via Polar Online. It will just automatically do it for the full cabin. But then obviously on the manage booking screen here, if you haven't added the package on at the time of booking, then you can go ahead and use the promotional code and add that offer code into that screen there. One thing to note though, the packages can't be added within 72 hours of sailing, so it would need to be done prior to that. After that time frame, it would mean that the package needs to be added on board, which you don't want, because then it goes onto the guest's on board account and not onto your booking total. So in order to increase that booking revenue and ensure that the package is commissionable if it is on a retail rate, make sure it's done either at the time of booking or at least 72 hours before sailing, so then you get the benefits of that package. If you use the offer code, yes, it still does apply it to all guests. So I would say kind of using that option if the guest is unsure at the time of booking perhaps, and then they've decided later on to go ahead and book it. So if it is the case that you are looking to reduce the package and only have it for a couple of guests in the cabin and you've got it booked on, then live chat, they'll be able to help you. It's an easy fix, but unfortunately Polar Online just doesn't have that function.
That is great. Now, I want to say though, if let's say I'm away with a wife and me and her have got Princess Premier, that doesn't mean the children aren't going to be allowed to be in the pictures, does it? They can still be in the pictures with us.
Of course, they can still be in the pictures. They just won't be purchasing them with their medallion.